Hello everyone, Tina Gell here, and today I'm excited to be coming to you with my first challenge as part of the My Scraps and More design team. Today it was a free-for-all challenge, so I got to pick anything that I wanted. And I know a lot of times in the new year we're concentrating on going back and using our stash and all of that, but I thought I would put a little spin on it and out with the old and in with the new. So my challenge for you is to get that last order that came in the mail that sometimes sits there for way too long and we don't ever use it. I know I have a lot of things in my stash that I jumped on and bought right as it was released, and I still haven't used it, and it's a year old, if not more. And so my challenge today is to grab that last order, pull out some paper, and join me on this challenge. I have pulled out 3 papers from the Heidi Swapp September Skies collection. It's a beautiful paper collection. It's been out for just a little bit, but not very long. It's new to this year. I'm going to loosely base my layout on a sketch from the December 19th My Scraps and More sketch challenge, because I have a single photo and then a 3x3 card. So I'm kind of playing along with that sketch just a little bit, real loosely. So this is going to be my background. And then I have the cut apart sheet, and I've cut apart this card. I'm going to use it, and then I cut apart a couple of others, but I'm going to be using the back side to make a tag out of. So that's all I'm going to be using out of that. And this red, I'm going to use just a small little bit to pull out the red in his bow tie. So those are my papers. Then for my embellishments, I have some camera washi tape that I'm going to be using. I have a little glassine bag, some My Mind's Eye black and gray brads, and then the thickers are Amy Tangerine's Afterglow thickers. So all of that is brand new product. These are a little bit further back in my stash. So this one's Ellie Studio, and I may use a couple of the little banners if I do the banner that's on the sketch up there. And then on these I have just a couple of little red banners in the black that I may use as some embellishing. So those were the only things out of my stash. Everything else is new from the last order. So that is my challenge for you. Be sure to join us on the blog and on the My Scraps and More forum, and let's get started on this layout. So I've gotten all of my papers cut. I took the 2 3x3 cards that I had cut apart that I was using the back side and just cut a tag shape and punched a hole into the top of it that I'll put a brad in later. And then the red, I just cut a small little rectangle shape, and then the glassine bag is going to go behind my photo, and that piece on the sketch, it was another tag turned upside down. But I wanted to use this little glassine bag, and I'm going to put it behind the photo and leave it where it's opened so that I can put some of his ID cards and some personal information that has to remain private just because it is Walt Disney World and they're real strict with what information can be shared and what can't be. So all of that information will go behind that bag. So this photo, I guess I haven't explained, this photo is my son when he went to do his second internship and he was working with parade audience control. And so this was his costume for that job position, and I wanted to scrap about it, and so he reluctantly snapped this photo for me, and you can tell by the expression on his face that he did it very reluctantly. He does not like his photos taken that much, but he knew it was important to me, and so this photo is really special because he did it even though I had asked a couple of times, but then I kind of just let it go, and he just surprised me one day by texting me this photo. So I was anxious to get it documented. So there you'll see how I put the glassine bag back there, but made sure that it would stay open and I can stick a journaling tag. Now I won't be using that particular tag, but it will be that size. So I was just checking to make sure that it was going to go all the way down in there. And then his IDs, like I said. So I just put the washi tape across the back, kind of following the sketch. It had a strip of paper behind there. And then those little banners, I did use them up at the top, so that kind of follows the sketch as well. I just inked everything with Tim Holtz Black Soot ink and his applicator, his sponge applicator, or foam applicator, I guess. And that just kind of helped tie everything together because I wanted everything kept really neat and clean in the black and white to match in his outfit, and as well as the red bow tie. And so these little stickers from the My Mind's Eye collection, they were just perfect because it was all in the black, and then the other one was a red one, which I ended up not being able to find a place for it. But I just kept really black and white with just touches of red. The background paper has a gray triangular grid through the whole thing, and then just those few small colored triangles. And so everything's just kept really clean. And this is not really my typical style, but it works well for this photo, and I'm really happy with it. Now the title is the PAC, that stands for Parade Audience Control. That was his job position. And so I'll do a lot more journaling underneath that arrow to the bottom right of the photo. I will put just a little bit of information that can be shared about his job position and his second internship. And then these brads were from the black and gray collection that I showed in the beginning from My Mind's Eye Necessities. You can still get these in the store, I believe, at My Scraps and More. The paper is in there as well, but it is part of the sale that she started on December 28th, so it may not last long by the time this airs this next coming week. But if it is, I would certainly grab it. It's a gorgeous paper line. Okay, so now I have these other brads, and I'm just trying to decide where they go. Just kind of looking at the triangle. You saw me kind of visually pointing out my triangle to see where I wanted to put the rest of those. I think. Be sure to join us at the My Scraps and More forum, and we have challenges every day, and you can submit to win prizes, win gift cards to the store. So it's a lot of fun. We have lots of different challenges and information, and then you can check out the blog and of course go shopping. So my last little thing here is my brads, or not my brads, but my enamel dots, of course. And so I pulled out some different colors, but I knew the big thing was I wanted a little bit of black and red. And you'll see this little red piece, that was on my sticker sheet, just tiny, tiny little piece that I should have thrown away, but when I saw it, it struck me funny, and it reminded me of his little bow tie, and I love this red bow tie. He hated it, but I love it. I think it's so cute. And so I just stuck it up at the top with those banners just to kind of mimic that bow tie, and I needed something red up there anyways. And so each one of the embellishments, you'll notice there's just a small touch of red, and then on the left embellishment that I'm getting ready to do on the tag, I used one of the big black brads to go through the top of the tag, and then I wanted some bigger dots of red because that area didn't have any red at all, where the other ones had just a little bit, but it was further away from the red. And so I end up moving these, and one thing that I like to do on our Disney pages, and I definitely do on all of his pages from working at Disney, is do a little hidden Mickey. So I ended up taking 3 of the red enamel dots and making a hidden Mickey at the top of that tag instead of kind of how I had the enamel dots anyways. So a lot of people don't even notice it or pay attention, but if you're a true Disney fan, you will spot the hidden Mickeys on my layouts pretty quick. Okay, so I was pretty much done, but I felt like the layout really needed something. And so I went through my stash and I found these silver rub-ons. And I thought they would work great. I hadn't used them before. They're from Studio Calico, and they're super, super nice, and they go on so easily. And so I just scattered some across all 3 embellishment areas. And that made it a lot better, but I still wanted just a little bit something else. And if you follow me, you know I'm not a messy scrapper. I don't do the inks and the gelatos and all of that kind of stuff. I love the looks of them. I don't like spending the time and being messy on layouts and all that. I'm just too lazy, I guess. But I do like a little bit of splatter sometimes because it's kind of like the enamel dots. And so I just took, I don't have a lot of inks and things like that, but I have my Memento Black re-inker. So I just put some on a little piece of the backing where it's really slick, and then I have my water brush pen so that I could thin it down, and then I just splattered across the angle. So here are the still shots and the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this first challenge, and be sure to give me a thumbs up or subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to see more, and hop on over to My Scraps and More to join us in the challenge. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time.